To make our backgrounds for our watercolor planets, we're going to be using a piece of blue construction paper and some metallic paint to add to our blue construction paper to make a sparkly background. You'll also have a sponge tool that we'll be using to add the paint to our paper. Make sure that you keep the sponge on the paper plate when you're not using it. That way it doesn't get the area around your artwork messy. When we use our sponge, we're just going to tap it on our paint and then bounce it up and down on our paper. You can practice it a little bit on your paper plate if you want to. We'll also have a messy mat underneath our paper. I'm just dipping the tip of my sponge into the paint and adding a little bit of it on my paper. I don't need to add big globs of it on my paper, just a little bit at a time. I'm going to go all the way to the edges and corners with this, and I do want some of the blue construction paper to show through this. So I don't want to cover this completely with the metallic paint, just little spots. Remember that this is a galaxy sky and we would have some darkness in our sky. So we want to show some of the blue paper through the metallic paint. So don't cover your paper completely with the metallic paint. We need to see some blue and some metallic paint. And I'm just making little jumps and hops with my sponge tool on my paper. When I feel like it runs out, I'm just dipping the tip of it into the paint color that I want to use. I'm going to finish adding the metallic paint to the rest of my paper, but remember to leave some of the blue showing. It looks like my background for my watercolor planet is all done because I have filled in the entire paper. I do still have some blue showing through, and that is good. We want to see some of the blue through our metallic paint. The next thing we're going to do is set this aside and we're going to let it dry. Next, we're going to work on cutting out our planet shape and making a rocket ship to add to the top of our artwork. When you're cutting out your planet, you want to cut right next to the oil pastel line that you outlined your planet shape in. So I'm not cutting off the pink outline here. I'm cutting right next to it. And I'm going slow with my scissors, getting all of the white paper off of the edges. We can use our other hand that we're not cutting with to help us. So it's our helper hand helping us turn the paper as we cut. Remember when you're using your scissors, and we do this carefully and slowly to make it look our very best. With your extra paper, you can recycle it, and then we are ready to work on our rocket ship. Everyone is going to get a paper like this with a rocket ship. We're going to use some crayons to color in our rocket ship. You can color your rocket ship in any way that you like. For mine, I'm going to color mine in a rainbow pattern. But remember, you are the artist and it can be any colors that you like. In this little circle shape, we are going to add a picture of ourselves after we're done. So it will be like we are flying in the rocket ship over the planet. So you don't have to color in this little circle. You can if you want to, but most of it will probably get covered by your picture when we glue it down. I'm going to keep coloring in my rocket until it is all filled with color. Now that my rocket ship is all colored in, I can go ahead and cut it out. To cut out our rocket ship, we need to cut very close to the shape. First, I'm cutting it out from the big piece of white paper, just kind of making a bubble around it. I've gotten the extra paper out of the way, which helps me cut closer to the rocket ship shape. I'm going to cut on the black line and cut out the entire shape in one piece. Remember, we're using our helper hand to help us turn our paper as we're cutting. I'm going to cut very slowly, but my video is going to speed up a little bit. Remember, I can't cut this fast. When your background is dry, then you can take your planet that you've cut out and your rocket ship that you've cut out, and we're going to glue it all together. So we're going to glue our planet first on top of our background, and then we're going to put our rocket ship on top. So it looks like it is flying through outer space around our planet. We're going to use our white liquid glue to glue everything together. So turn your planet over And remember, with your glue bottle, you have to twist the orange cap to open it. When you can't see the white dot here, that means it's open. When you see the white dot, that means it is closed. So twist the orange part to open up the bottle and shake the glue bottle a little bit to move the glue to the tip of the bottle. Then I'm going to put glue along the edges of my planet shape, so around it in a circle. That way all of the sides stay down. Then I'm going to put some glue in the middle as well to make sure that it stays in place. After, you can carefully flip it over, and we're going to glue our planet in the middle of our background paper. Make sure that your planet is going in the direction that you want it to. Maybe you have a certain part that's the top and the bottom. Make sure that it's going the way that you like before you press it down. Then we can gently press our planet down with our fingers so that it stays in place. If you get a little bit of extra glue coming out of the edges, that's okay. It will dry clear. Next, we're going to glue our rocket ship over our planet. I'm going to glue mine so that part of it is over the sky and part of it is over my planet. You could also glue it in the middle of your planet if you want. It's up to you. You are the artist here. So I'm also putting glue around the edges of my rocket ship and a little bit in the middle. We want all of the parts of it to stay down in place. Then I can carefully flip it over and press it down where I want it to be. Remember that we will have a picture here of ourselves because we are inside of our rocket ship. Once you're done, you can carefully flip this over and give your paper a nice rub. Just gently, don't hit your paper. That doesn't really do anything productive to our artwork. This is just pressing the glue to the paper so all the parts of our artwork stay together. Once you're done, you can go ahead and put it on the drying rack to dry. I hope you had fun making your watercolor planet with a metallic background and adding a rocket ship on top. I can't wait to see how your project turns out.